Hey guys, welcome back to Buddy RC. My name is Clay, and today we are going to go kind of through the footage of this show. So we just recently went to Motorama over in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it was one of the wildest shows I've ever seen in my life. So it's 1 million square feet of nothing but motorsports. So the motorsports that it has there at the track, it's wild. So it has arena cross, quarter midget for children, like very young children, and they were going way faster than I could have ever imagined. It was crazy. They were also doing RC drag racing. There was RC 1/8 scale off-road, like dirt racing. There was also oval racing, RC oval racing. There was go-karts there. There was, a little bit of everything. Crawlers, just everything. So we're going to kind of go through some of the things that were going on, and I'm going to show you guys some footage from the show. I didn't have that much footage from me talking to the camera just because it's really awkward to be talking to a camera during these big shows where there's, 60,000 people around you. And the audio just wouldn't have been that good anyway. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is our booth. So our booth, we were with C and M Motorsports. They are one of the premier oval racing companies that make, they have their own chassis, things like that. I had no idea that they were this technical. It's absolutely insane. Some of these little cars are absolutely insane. Just like my, carpet racing cars, they can get really far into this. So they had a few of the cars that I actually used for carpet off-road made into sprint cars. So these little sprint cars, after seeing some of these guys run, I really, really want to try one. It looks like a lot of fun, a lot of slipping through the dirt and things like that. They also had a couple other chassis that were, I'll show a few of them in here, but absolutely insane on some of the chassis that they had. They had like $1,500 into just a little, 10 scale car. Absolutely insane. It's awesome. But after that, so we went ahead and went over to the 8 scale track, and the 8 scale track was one of my favorites. So this track was actually bigger than the arena cross track, which is absolutely insane to see that is actually that big. There were some really big names that came out. Some people that I've followed for a very long time, Ryan Lutz, he does a lot of really cool onboard camera type stuff. He was out there racing with the big guys. All the big low-C guys were out there. It was pretty sick to see these professional people race, basically. It was, like I said, it was a huge track. You'll see in some of the footage that the people look really, really tiny. It's crazy. So after that, there is the car show area, and that, of course, because I'm a car guy, I absolutely loved. So some of the cars that we saw, I'm going to post them up here. I just did a few of them, but the RX-3, that thing was amazing. It had 1,000 horsepower, rotary in it. Detuned to like 600 horsepower. It was crazy. Some of the trucks that were out there were insane. This whole room was about the size of most convention centers, so it was crazy big. Tons of cars. There's probably over 100 cars in that one room. But off of that room, there was a very large hallway that connects all of these arenas. There's probably 5 arenas in this place. I don't understand what they really do there. I guess they do a farm show. That's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I guess they do a farm show every year. So they have all these different arenas. There's probably 4 or 5 different arenas. But the biggest arena that was there was for arena cross. They had a little bit smaller of a track than the RC, than the 8 scale off-road track was, but that's only because they didn't have as much of a arena seating for the for the 8 scale clay racing. But the arena for that was crazy big. Again, probably seated 10,000 people. It was crazy. Tons of people came out there watching, little kids all the way up to adults racing, bikes, ATVs. It was pretty awesome. So after that, you have the quarter midget room was super cool. It was just an open place basically where they have like concrete floors, and they prepped it for these little cars to run around. And some of them are way faster than I had no idea. They were so fast. So I come in when they were under caution, and then as soon as they took off, they freaking took off. It was awesome. So after that, I went ahead and went over to the Robot Conflict. So Robot Conflict is actually like BattleBots. They had two separate arenas that were kind of small, and then they had one big one. The video you'll see here is actually pretty funny. So I had been walking around all day long. I walked 7 miles the first day on Friday. The place is huge, so it's really easy to walk about 7 miles is if you're going to try and see everything. So I walked up and I just grabbed the camera, pointed the camera up. It was really cool looking, and you will see there was one of the biggest knockouts of the day. It was pretty sweet to see a couple of like Radio Masters out there, stuff that we use in, you know, the RC hobby, C and M used in robotics. So that is pretty neat. So after that, I actually made my way over to the other car showroom. This car showroom was a little bit of everything. It wasn't just car show cars. There was a few off-road vehicles over there that were pretty crazy. There were some, you know, monster trucks that were huge and almost barely fit into this place. There was even a plane, which was crazy. There was like a little STOL plane that was pretty sweet. But in the corner was one of my favorite parts, was the RC drag racing. It was really cool to see people's reactions to these. They were doing 66 feet instead of 132, so they did like an 1/8 mile. They were doing 66 feet in less than 1 second, which is crazy to even think that that's even possible. But hopefully we're going to work with some drag racing stuff here pretty soon. I want to try and set up an MT-12. A lot of them were very interested in that kind of stuff. So the MT-12, hopefully we'll have some drag content coming up here pretty soon. Biggest sponsor there was, of course, Horizon Hobby. Horizon Hobby did some really cool demos. I got to see TJ, actually. He was walking by. Hopefully you guys remember TJ. But they did some pretty cool demos in the Arena Cross area, so we'll show some footage of that as well. It was pretty sweet. But all in all, guys, this was a really cool show. We really wanted to get the word out about the WOV Racing cars, make sure everybody, you know, has their questions answered. There was a ton of people that came to the booth, and we want to thank you guys for coming out and seeing us. And for all the new subscribers, we want to thank you guys for subscribing, and it was really nice chatting with all you guys. So, guys, we will go ahead and wrap it up here. I know this was kind of a long video, just talking and showing some stuff, but I thought it was too cool of a show to not show any of this footage. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.